Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rad Road, where in the last episode, we built this dwarvish map room right here. I loved the way it turned out. I gave it my all this time. I made sure to put a lot of detail in this room, and I think it has now become my most favorite build yet. This just looks amazing. It fits so well with everything. I used so many different blocks for it, but it's not too much. It's just enough. I also created an interior for this mining shack right here. It's not too developed or all that special, but it's nice and cozy, and I kind of didn't have a lot of space to work with anyways, so it was a little difficult. But nonetheless, on to what I want to get done for this episode. I want to finally mark out the borders of my naval dockyard, or at least the rough dimensions of it. What I kind of hope to create. It might change in the future based on just different visions that come to mind or different ideas, but I hope to create a solid outline of what I want built. I should probably also do some cleanup work over here. This doesn't look the best right now. I mean, what happened to this tree over here? I don't remember minding those leaves, but clearing off some of this mountain right here and getting all the particularly sunflowers out of here. I hate these things. They're annoying. They get in the way of all my shots, just like right now. You know, it's annoying. Along with that outline, I hope to create a rough slash kind of beginning outline for this factory over here. Now, the reason why I say rough is because I guarantee you I'm going to add more farms that particularly go in that direction and this direction over here. This area around here is pretty much done with farms. I might add something here, but I think this is enough for this area right here. But I could always expand more, especially out into here. I've designated this entire area here as my industrial sector. And I should probably also tidy up this area too, particularly this gaping hill right here, as well as some other things like cleaning up the sunflowers and getting all this grass out of here. I also want to tidy up this area over here. This empty area right here and this empty area right over here. I've been talking about what I want to put in here, and I haven't really thought of the perfect idea. I was at first thinking maybe putting a building there, maybe just adding more stones, but I have thought of putting trees here. There are absolutely zero trees on this hill. Nothing. Nada. Not even like small trees or really any bushes at all. The only bushes I have are the ones around rocks. So this could add a little bit more flavor to my mountain here. I want to start by marking out where the naval dockyard is going to go. I've put this off for so long, so many episodes, I finally want to get it done. Although before we get into that, let's clean up the area a little bit. It looks a little rough right now. And now with the area all cleared up and free of sunflowers, I can finally mark out where the dockyard will go. Now, I'm thinking that it'll start up here. The outline will go across, probably come in at one of these points right here, just because this island gradually decreases, and I don't want the dockyard to gradually decrease. Well, actually, I could. I could just have it go straight along here and then have a diagonal there, but working on diagonals is quite hard. I think I'll actually just do that though. And then it'll come up here and connect all the way to there. And in the middle of that place will be the markings for the actual construction yard. Alright, and this is the entire outline. Well, not the entire outline. The dockyard is going to go a little bit more that way, but I haven't really planned out the dimensions for that yet. And it's going to stop at this ridgeline right here close to the mountain. But yeah, look at all it. It's quite big, if I gotta say. It is a little larger than I was expecting it to be, but this will be able to work nonetheless. I also like the idea of this diagonal strip right here. It makes the dockyard just feel, I don't know, it just makes it fit more, I guess. And then this is, of course, where the ship is going to go. This is the dockyard laid out. Now this beam here that goes all the way down is where the actual dimensions of the dockyard is going to go, and not the ship. The ship dimensions start right there, at that point, and at that point over there, and that's the center. The reason why I didn't make the dockyard the dimensions of the ship is because I want there to be room in between the ship itself and the dockyard, just like there is in real life. And then if you go all the way down here, I have again marking out where the ship width is actually going to be. It falls right here. And by the way, that length right there isn't going to be the entirety of the ship. That's just going to be at its kind of thickest point, which would be more towards the middle. And then I increased the length of the required dockyard by about 20 or so blocks because I want there to be a 10 block gap on this side and a 10 block gap on that side. This is just so that the ship doesn't feel squished inside of the dockyard. The pillars around here indicate how tall the dockyard's actually going to be. I'm going to raise it over this grassy field here and have it basically be a 4 block increase just so that it fits a little better. And some areas like over here might have an incline up, or back down there it might just go straight out. So I'll change everything, but that is the hardest portion marked out for today's episode, at least. I'm just really proud of the look of it. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, because this looks honestly amazing. Seeing it all mapped out is great, and that used a lot of wool, because I probably need more for this factory over here. So much more. But now comes the less detailed part. I'm not going to add how tall this is going to go because it's going to vary from point to point. This side is definitely going to be taller than this middle portion here, and this is going to be absolutely gigantic, but that'll be for future me to decide when I actually get more farms in here and stuff like that. So I think I'll mark out where this place goes to up to about that rock there and get it all the way around this portion here and probably down over there. Actually, I might just stop there because there might be more farms here. So you gotta be flexible when it comes to your plans. You gotta have a plan, and that's all good, but you gotta make sure to maybe not plan too much and too detailed, because then what if something goes wrong? You don't have anything to fall back on. So this will be a very easy project compared to that one over there. The cleanup, not a problem. I might actually get rid of this hill too. And that's the area sort of cleaned up. There's a few areas that are a little patchy. Like up here, I don't know what's happening over here, all these random blocks, but I think it's the Endermen. They just keep on grabbing blocks and then placing them all over the place. I've seen one do it, I just didn't catch it on camera. Now let's get this outline down. It's gonna come right along here, and then it's going to follow the outline of the creeper farm here, and then continue its way down here, but making sure not to go too far because of the farms that I could possibly place over here. And with that, the perimeter is not all the way done, but it's a good start at least. I'm not going to show like how high it should be because that's going to vary from point to point, and I haven't quite figured out how high I want every part to be, but I'm thinking that they'll go slightly above their machines respectively. But other areas like these two will probably be the same height. Or I could have like a smokestack on top of this one going up. You know, the possibilities are endless. That's why I don't want to plan out too much now. I don't want to bottleneck my plans and then freak out when they don't work out. So, with that now wrapped up, let's get on to the last part of this episode, with that being the creation of some trees over here. These are materials I will be using, but I think I might include some dark oak leaves just to give it a little bit more texture. Now, I am not very good at making organic builds. In fact, I absolutely suck at them. I have a hard time doing terraforming and anything like that. So this would be kind of a new thing for me. I don't think I've ever built a custom tree in Minecraft before, so I'll give it my shot. I'll probably have to have quite a few reference photos up just to make sure it doesn't look terrible. And as I've said before, the first tree is going to go right around here, and the second tree is going to go right over here on this cliff face, about where these pigs are at, right around here. This will be interesting because of the slopes, but I feel like that'll make the roots that come out of the trees look a little cooler. But enough talk, let's get into building these trees. These turned out so much better than I thought they would. I just kind of started throwing blocks in random places as I built particularly the trunk and made the leaves, and it just worked out. I added some moss blocks around the center to give it a little more gradient down here, and instead of going for these oak slabs along here, I went with spruce. Spruce fits in a lot better with this oak color, so it actually looks like it's part of the tree. But I didn't only build that one, I also built this one over here too, at a slightly larger scale because I had a little more room over here than over there. But I would say this one turned out a little bit worse than the other one. I still like this one, but it's the fact that this under brush area doesn't have a lot of leaves on it and looks kind of awkward. It looks really flat there and just doesn't really fit in. I wish I could have made it a little taller and then I would have had a little more room down there, but it is what it is. And I think I might be able to add a block or two around here just to give it a little bit more shape. But I did the same thing over here, made the roots spread out, added some moss blocks, added some flowers, and did all the details on the base, and it turned out great. I really like these trees. They just add something else in here for you to look at. And from afar, they do add not a lot, but a little bit more diversity in here. I definitely think a few more of these trees scattered around will really start to bring in the area a little bit more. And maybe I'll go bigger. I've seen some more reference images, and man, they are cool looking. I've had this idea for one that kind of splits off to the left. There's a little kind of grove right here, and then it continues up and forms another grove right up there. It would be taller and larger than this one. Actually, it'd be taller and larger than both of those, but I think something like that, or a few of those around this area, will start to bring in a little bit more detail and improve the area by quite a bit. I'm thinking that for the next episode, I get some smaller details around this area worked out. Like, for example, adding a doghouse here and decorating this in between area, and then adding the porch to the back of my house, like I said, maybe 11 or so episodes ago, I think it was. It's been a long time. I'd probably give a try at terraforming this little cliff edge right here. I would probably also like to add some other smaller things around here, like some more small decorations, like perhaps some more trees, boulders, or pathways, or anything like that, and adding some flowing lava behind these copper blocks right here, like I said I was going to do, and basically get this hall finally finished, finally to where I like it. I mean, I like it right now, but I can make it better. But that will be the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!